I found messages of my BF18 flirtatiously complimenting other girls for the first half of our relationship. My BF and I have been together for almost 2 years and I now live with him and his family out of necessity. I just had this gut feeling to look at his Instagram DMs and see the messages between him and this other girl BC I seen earlier that he had recently messaged her. I felt really bad doing it, but I'm glad I did because of what I found. So a little backstory on this other girl. She has known my BF for years and they were very close childhood friends. Their families are so close that they even saw each other as cousins and they still call each other like that to this day. Over the years they became more and more distant, and that was for many reasons, including him moving away to another country. So I thought nothing of his relationship with her because they seen each other only as cousins, right? Well, I found messages from when my BF and I were dating for about 2 to 3 months already where he slid up on her story and said something along the lines of, "How much do I have to pay you to be the mom of my kids? Ha ha ha, JK, I have a GF, that's what she is for, and we are only cousins." And another one where she was telling him that she is worried other guys won't like her and he included the comment, "I have a GF but respectfully you are a pretty girl." Like, we both agreed that it is alright to think that other people are attractive while being in a relationship, but it would feel uncomfortable if one of us gushed about how attractive someone is out loud in front of each other. So if it would make him uncomfortable for me to tell him another guy is cute, why is he saying stuff like that to his cousin? I was furious and asked my BF what he meant by this and why would he say that, and his response was that he never had the intention to flirt, but it was said in a joking manner and that he didn't want her to take it seriously. I am not sure how she feels about it. BC, her responses were dry like ha ha ha, and she didn't engage with him like how he was. So because of my BF's terrible response, I asked him if I could look at the messages between other girls that he has met and he said sure. I did this because I knew my BF had a lot of female friends, but he has never gave me a reason to think that he would cross boundaries while being friends with them. I have been weary of a few girls because they have done some weird stuff, but my BF has always came to me and told me everything and also lets me know he can drop them if I feel uncomfortable with them being friends. That always made me feel more secure whenever he would text or hang out with them. Until I found messages between him and a bunch of female friends/acquaintances where he slides up on their stories and says things like "OMG you're so pretty" or like "you're so cute." I was shocked to my core. BC, throughout our relationship, my BF has never complimented or checked out another woman in that way in front of me. Even during movies with nudity he would cover his eyes and jokingly say "ew." But it checks out because 2 weeks ago I also found out my BF has been lying and hiding his porn consumption, even though he told me numerous times he stopped watching it, but that's another story. But the most heart-wrenching thing I saw was a text that he sent last June to a girl that has been so mean to me for years, and he knows this, sliding up on her story, I know, saying "OMG you're so hot." His excuse for all of these messages was that he was literally just being nice and did not mean it in a flirty way. But when I brought up the last girl he said that he literally has no clue why he said that, but he knows that he used to be extra nice to her when they were at school. BC, if you got on her bad side, she would spread rumors and treat you so badly. I knew that he was nice to her, BC, of that, but I don't think you need to call someone hot to do that. And when I let him know that I was shocked that he cheated on me, he had the audacity to say that he doesn't see this as cheating. BC, in the beginning of our relationship we never told each other that these kind of compliments were off limits. But one day we were talking and he realized that I wouldn't like if I seen him say something like that, and he hasn't sent another message like that since. It's like it's excuse after excuse. He even sweared on his dog that he loves dearly for me to believe him. I am genuinely so confused because I want to believe him so bad. BC, I love him so much and I have nowhere else to live until I go to college next year. But I know people have walked all over me and taken advantage of me, and I don't want this to happen again. He suggested that we have a reset of our relationship and immediately talk about what our boundaries are so that something like this won't happen again. I must note that I discussed my boundaries with him multiple times over our relationship and asked him what are his, but he gave me very little to work with every time. He then started crying and telling me that no one in his life has showed me love the way I have and he cannot lose me because of this, and that he wants to live a life with me, married or not. I am seriously so confused. Story 2. My partner wants a poly relationship, but it doesn't sound like one. I have been in a relationship with my partner for 10 months starting this Jan. We met on Hinge and was wanting a short term, open to long. I was wanting long, open to short. We meet and hit it off immediately. We've been seeing each other regularly ever since, with our bond growing, strengthening, and progressing unconventionally. We have the "what are we" talk the first time. He doesn't want to put labels on relationships, so we call each other partners. In May, he invited me to his brother's college graduation. I had only met him twice before that. I would also be staying with his grandparents in a hotel for that weekend, who I met once before. I personally feel like spending the weekends with grandparents is a step in relationship progression. I asked him about it that weekend and he mentioned how he used to bring past partners to meet his grandparents in a smaller scope of time than how long it took me to meet them. I don't think about that much at the time. A few months later, July maybe, as we're watching anime and cuddling, he confessed his love for me. I wasn't ready to say it back but did 1 to 2 weeks later after reflection and seeing how well we progressed. I accept him and all his mild autistic quirks, as he knows they can be difficult to deal with. I accept him as he is and give him the time and space to thrive and be himself. I'm so invested in how he sees the world and how he thinks differently. He's done amazing things that I couldn't even think of how to do. He brought a trashed 3D printer back to life from some spare parts, though it didn't print well, it worked. He teaches me so many new things, how to stop and smell some roses and just exist for a little. I love him. Our relationship after that thrives. He doesn't like going to restaurants even though I do, so we make dates to go to global grocery stores and bring some things back to cook. He doesn't like exploring cities but we have great times going hiking and on small road trips to Goodwill. We rescued and are raising a kitten. He then mentions a few weeks ago how he wants a poly relationship, as I saw a change in his Hinge profile. I asked him about it because I'm not into that stuff. I respect it highly though, it's hard, I've tried it. The thing is, the way he's describing this ideal relationship does not sound like a poly relationship to me. He says he wants some more fulfillment, as I am not 100% able to fulfill him. To that 100%. I can't remember if he elaborated on the context but he wants, as he described, a harem of women whom he can pick and choose who to hang out with, but everyone is supposed to get along with each other. I understand one person will not fulfill everything. I don't want that, nor do I strive to do that. I believe a partner is there to supplement, support, not simply just generate and apply the fills and fixes, and I understand that a person you love cannot give 100%. But can't that person be just enough even if they go above and beyond to accommodate that person? Can't they be accepted for who they are? The deepest hurt to come from this is that me flat out said this person was more physically attractive than me. I struggle with body dysmorphia, much less than before, though I ultimately love and appreciate all this meat suit has done for me. I love my body, and I wish others loved it like I do. It's nice to be reaffirmed once in a while. He told me not to worry about it because there is more to attraction than just the physical, but he also mentioned how if someone was more physically attractive to him and shares the same level of connection as we do, he may be more inclined to fall into a deeper love with them despite everything we've been through. But still claims it would be a poly relationship. Like we've been in a motorcycle accident together and I guided him and comforted him through it. He also mentioned how he would like to see two partners argue for a spot on his motorcycle, which was very off-putting to me. The way I see a poly relationship is everyone at an equal level, giving and receiving actions and emotions equitably amongst all parties so that no one feels left out. Why would you want to put two people who seemingly care about you and each other against each other? Unless you don't care about how your actions or lack thereof affect other people, but please tell me if I'm wrong. The way he's describing this makes it seem like a vending machine for whatever he wants at whatever he's feeling at the moment. I feel like he's desiring a one-sided open relationship, a side piece situation, or wants to call it cheating without cheating, because I'm not okay with this. And the thing is, as much as I worry for the sake of my partner and my connection, I worry for the potential partner, in this, because he doesn't explain this to him. All they know is that poly and partnered, and his partner, me, is uncomfortable with it, but it's somehow still okay. I would really like some input if you're poly or not on this. What do you think is the meaning of a poly relationship, and what do you think makes it work well? I want to show this to him, because I feel like this is a skewed perspective to justify objectification, and I refuse that I or anyone I am in a relationship with, potentially, be objectified. I cannot let that happen in good conscience. He says he doesn't eat to lose me, but I don't think H understands that one person cannot fulfill him 100%, that relationships are about exchange and compromise, and if he does seek that 100%, he will be sacrificing the feelings of those he is involved with. I feel so replaceable. I just want to be enough. That's all I've ever wanted. Comment. LOL. What's supposed to be the appeal of this arrangement for any woman in his fantasy harem? To fight over backseat or sidecar on the motorcycle. He's definitely treating people like objects in this imagined arrangement. In my estimation, real poly is about loving more than one person, as a person, for whatever they bring to the relationship. This dude sounds like he thinks he's the main character and his imaginary women are just NPCs. It is a basic compatibility issue. You sound like more of a monogamous person and he sounds like he doesn't really understand poly. Poly is based in everyone's consent and boundaries are well defined. Also, comments on physical attraction are not okay. Do yourself a favor and move on. He wants permission to sleep with other women. That's about the sum of it. It sounds like you guys aren't compatible. I'd leave him and take the kitten. There is no reason you have to accept the idea of a poly relationship, much less being in one regardless of how it's defined for real. You clearly don't want to be a part of what he suggests and has indicated you aren't central to his plans. The sooner you move on the better for you. He's already found someone else and at the very minimum is emotionally cheating on you. Sorry, I wouldn't put up with that. Let him have her, and when he comes crawling back be ready to tell him to. Seriously, reread your own words. The way he's describing this makes it seem like a vending machine for whatever he wants at whatever he's feeling at the moment. I feel like he's desiring a one-sided open relationship, a side piece situation, or wants to call it cheating without cheating because I'm not okay with this. Good luck.